Explain the child. Aduh, live. Explaining. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. Okay, well, let's begin. Hi everyone. This again. This is a very impromptu stream. I'm fresh off I'm fresh off my YouTube premiere for my CHARLENE movie. Sorry, tak puasa eh. Nanti lah baru aku puasa sunat. So anyway, this is just going to be a very short stream. I'm just going to explain a bit about what's happening, what really is the movie about. I posted so much about the movie, but I still left it kind of vague. So now that the movie is out, and maybe you guys can watch it anytime, now I'm able to give some sort of explanation about the movies. Though to be honest, I wouldn't call it. There's not really too much to explain. I'm sorry. There's not really too much to explain about the movie other than the fact that sorry again. It's just a mystery drama, with a bit of supernatural elements, in which it tells the story of this young girl called CHARLENE, in which she sorry again, in which she writes this message, to anyone, to someone out there who is willing to help her, in the hopes that no, sorry, let me rephrase that back again. It tells a story of this young girl writing her last message, sort of, through her magical abilities to control a computer screen, right? No, sorry. It's about, okay, this young girl called CHARLENE, in the background of it, somehow possesses the magical ability to control computer screens. Though obviously, how I technically is just a screen recording of a QuickTime Player video, in which I played it back just to give the impression of, oh, someone's controlling the computer without anyone there. But to be honest, yeah, it's just a screen recording of the whole thing while it was playing. But it sort of gives the impression in that, this young girl is granted the ability to control something of like a computer screen, which she tries to use it to advantage at, in the first scene, from something like sorry again, I'm also a bit confused right now. So okay, from the first scene in which she tries to reach out for help, right? Hello, is anyone there? She was actually trying her very last attempt to reach out to someone, anyone in the surrounding area, but as you guys can see, there's literally no one out there. And it just goes to show that, she's trying her best. She's trying everything. As you can see, as evident from the first scene, in that she's trying her very best for her life to be saved. But then there's no one that responded, and then came the whole long message thingy. One person in the premiere is asked, is it kind of like a suicide note? To which I say, it's not really a suicide note, but at the same time it could be. How? That's left to your interpretation. Really, I made the whole movie to work in many different ways according to what you think best fits the story. So there's not really, this short movie doesn't really have a solid overarching story behind it, but it does, in my mind, in my head right now, there's one story that, there's one official storyline that kind of makes sense to everything that's going on in the movie, but I don't really want to make it official because I want to leave the whole movie up to your imagination, the audience's imagination. I don't really want to make everything too obvious from the get go, but I just I just put out a scene that works well on its own without needing too much of an explanation. So that's what I did. So yeah, that's basically the whole catalyst of Charlene. Basically, it's like it's it's not necessarily about if it's a suicide or something like that, or if it's something else entirely, but what the message is trying to convey. That's what that's one of the main reasons I was driven to make this movie. And again, you might not really get that all that from just watching it for the first time. It's literally just 3 or 4 shots, and I call it a movie, right? Call me lazy, call me the laziest. I mean, it's just the way that I structured these movies kind of seems lazy. It's very obvious, but to me, maybe you guys might not be able to see it yet, but there might be a whole lot more going on behind the scenes. In that I have it in my head, but I just don't want to tell you guys, because otherwise it might just spoil the whole interpretation aspect of the whole movie, in which it makes it interesting, right? So yeah, and basically that's it. So I told you, it's just a very short stream in that I just wanted to make things clear. So yeah, I mean, it's not so much about obviously it is more about, hold on, sorry. Let me pause for a bit. Hold on. Okay, sorry. Okay, let me resume the stream. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, what was I talking about this now? Oh yeah, that's the story. So basically, in summary, the whole story of the movie is up to your interpretation. It doesn't have a solid overarching story behind it. Though in my mind, in my head, there is a storyline that kind of makes sense in that makes sense in that it tells, it serves as the background and what happened before it. I mean, in my head, there's a whole backstory about what happened, but I don't want to share that. I mean, it just spoils the fun, right? I don't want to make it official. So yeah, the whole movie is up to your interpretation. And even though I have a solid interpretation of what's going on, I don't want to share it. I mean, yeah, it's the interesting thing about making these types of movies is that even though as simple as it is, as lazy as it is, you don't get too much background information from this type of movies. I love even though call me lazy, call me lazy, call me not having that much of an idea, or maybe call me for making up an excuse about making a lazy movie, but no, it's actually not that. This is basically what I want. This is how I wanted the story to be told in this way. And yeah, from my mind, from when I came up with the idea for this, it just hold on. Oh no, I spilled some water, sorry. Again, yeah, it's just I really wanted the whole movie to be left up to interpretation. So yeah, it's basically that's all the movie serves. And apart from that, I don't think there's any apart from that. I think that's it, yeah. If you want to interpret it as the character writing a suicide note, then that shall be it. But if you also if you also think that the character is going through something other than suicide, then that's what happened. Again, nothing is clear. It's there's no solid plot behind this movie, but it's up to your imagination to fill in the blanks between what's happening before and after. So yeah, I mean, obviously, you might be able to tell what happens after, but before that, before, though, I mean, there's also an equal balance of vagueness between what happens before the events of the movie and what happens after. But yeah, it's mostly up to you to fill in the blanks. Okay, now I want to talk about a bit about the production of the movie. The production of this movie is a bit unconventional. I mean, it's not really unconventional. It's how you would expect making a movie to be like. I just shot it with my iPhone, and the weird thing about it is, I marketed this movie as being a 4K movie, right? It is. It actually is. It actually. Sorry. It's actually in 4K, but the main scene, the main like 10-minute long scene about the whole message, right? That was actually just shot in 1080p HD. I just exported it, upscaled it to 4K or something, because the first 3 shots, including the first the first scene where Charlene's reaching out for help, that was actually shot in 4K. Yeah, I actually shot that in 2160p from my iPhone, only because my phone was running low on storage space. I decided to I had no choice but to record the whole scene that came after in HD, because I could splice it, like I could record a few minutes of the scene in 4K and then keep repeating it until the whole scene is done. But I don't want to do that. I want to try to maintain this sense of continuity as long as I could. So without sacrificing that, I decided to shoot it in HD. So yeah, that's why you might also notice kind of like a dip in quality in the second scene. So yeah, that's basically what happened. It's just a factor of storage space, limiting my initially I wanted to shoot the whole thing in 4K. I actually tried, but again, yeah, I only got to recording about 3 or 4 minutes of footage for that second part before I thought, you know what, for continuity's sake, let me just shoot the whole thing in HD. So that's what I did. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's basically it that I wanted to explain. Again, the whole story is left up to your interpretation, and I don't think anyone's watching this for now, right? So I think that's all. But yeah, if you have any questions about the movie, feel free to contact me, though maybe I'll just shoot them off as, oh, it's vague. There's not really a solid story behind it backing it up. I could just say that, right? But yeah. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning into the stream, if anyone is here actually. But yeah, I mean, that's all from me. And thank you so much for, if you're one of the people who tuned into my movie during the premiere, I thank you so much. If you haven't watched the movie, it might be a real slog to get through. It's gonna be a boring AF movie, but really, that's my vision, and I'm glad I get to tell the story this way. So yeah, thank you so much for watching the movie and also this stream, and I'll see you guys next time. See you when I see you. Bye. Hey, wait, sorry. Bye. Oh man.